Hi, I'm Beck and welcome to a weekly currently reading video. Last week I was reading a couple of audiobooks and this week a few things have shifted. So I'm hoping to continue my reread of Robin Hobb and I'm 220 pages into this one. I want to read like 50 to 100 pages this week. So fingers crossed that I can get there. I'm trying to hurry through this update because I've got a bit of a tickly throat. I'm also still listening to Sword Crossed, which I'm really enjoying. The two male leads for the romance are fantastic and I'm hoping that the ending really sticks the landing because there's a lot of conflict that is outwardly affecting the couple. They're not affecting each other, but they also don't know each other very well yet, even though they've got this connection. So I'm interested to see where it leads and where it goes. And then additionally, the audiobook that I'm going to start after Sword Crossed is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. And this one is an age gap romance. I think he's 10 years younger than our lead female. And she is going through a small town after a funeral and they have a one-night stand. And ever since that one-night stand, they can't stop thinking of each other. So I think she comes back to visit or they keep in touch and they form a relationship or a romance. But she's from previously a toxic relationship. She's also from a very rich family and he's not from a rich family at all, but he is successful in his own right, I think. And I don't know how I'm going to go with the age gap. I don't usually like age gap, but Abby Jimenez seems to write fantastic books. I've heard a lot of praise for her work, so I'm really hoping that I end up liking it. I will let you know what happens because I plan to start it pretty soon, so it'll either be today or tomorrow, I think. If I finish any of those things and I decide on picking something else up, I don't know if I'm just going to go with my mood to choose something or if I go with my random number generator to choose something off my to be read pile. So that includes audiobooks as well. I've got them all written out on a little post-it. So maybe I'll do that to keep things a bit fresh and interesting. But that is it for my update for the moment. I'm going to go and try and recover my throat because it does not feel great. And I hope by the end of the week I feel a little bit better and that I've read some more. So it is now the end of the week and I have something to report. I'm still sick, but that is not the thing that I want to talk about. I've started reading this again and I'm so enamored by it. I've got like 80 pages left, which is way more than I thought I would read this week. But it turned out that I had a couple of days off work sick and to rest my voice, all I did was sit on the couch and read. So I ended up making more mileage in this week than I thought. And I'm just so in love with these characters. And I realized how much of a subtle storytelling it is upon this reread. I read it before like 10 years ago. And obviously because I was younger, I missed a lot of nuances. So it has really great reread value and potential because I'm noticing so many more things, especially in the subtle interactions that are between our main characters and our host of side characters. All of the characters are built in such a way that they feel real to me. I feel honestly like I could walk through the castle of Buckkeep, go to the kitchen and no cook and have a beautiful meal of bread and then go through the castle and see royalty. Like, I am in when I'm reading this book and I just love the relationships between these characters. I also get such a sense of loneliness from Fitz, our main character, and he is the bastard son of Chivalry, who is a prince, and because he's a bastard son he can't leave Buckkeep Castle because he'll either be killed or used against the crown, so the crown kind of repurpose him and use him for their own means. And because of that reason, in this book he is falling for this young woman named Molly. However, because he's being used by the crown, he's got this sense of duty and loyalty to the crown, so he's like, do I put myself first or do I put the king first, who I've sworn loyalty to? And so you really get a sense of him wanting to be his own person, but him being too tied up in the Farseer line in order for him to be able to do that. And it's such a beautiful internal conflict. And it's also layered in with secrets he has to keep from various people in his life, as well as the secret he keeps from everybody because he's got a specific magic called the wit, and in this world there is the skill and the wit, and they are both kind of mental forms of magic where you can connect with other people mentally and you can influence them or communicate with them. So it's a royal magic, it's followed the royal line, and that's why Fitz has access to the skill. However, his wit is for animal connection, and it's looked upon in this series as being a beastly magic that is very untoward. So he's trying to keep things a secret so that people don't taint him with that bestial tone. And so because he's got this magic, he bonds to different creatures throughout different books, and you can see that happening in this book and how he's got to keep it secret. And it just leads to one of my favorite characters literally of all time, and I'm having the best time with him. And I adore it so much. There is a moment in here where this character helps out Fitz and then says to Fitz, like, please survive, that's all I ask of you. And then there's a slight pause and he's like, also ginger cakes. I would like ginger cakes, bring those please. So it was just such a moment of serious tone balanced with levity. And initially I probably would have read that and like discarded it because I'm just, reading along in the book. But on this read through, I'm really noticing again all those nuances and those little moments. And I had a bit of a giggle at that. So again, I'm really enjoying it. It's probably going to be a 5-star read. I do want to go straight into the next book, but the next book is even bigger than this one. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think I've got to pick something off my to be read cart physically to read next. So that's what I'm going to do. Additionally, I'm also still currently reading Swordcrossed, and I'm 92% into this audiobook. I'm right at the end, and I tried to finish both clearly for this video update, but that didn't quite work out that way. And I, again, am really enjoying this one. However, because the plot is not as good to me as the romance, I'm probably going to lower it from a 4 to a 3.5, maybe a 3 stars. The plot is good in the sense that it is impacting what is going on with this couple. And like I said earlier, external forces are influencing their ability to be together. And I like all of the things that are happening. I just don't always understand them 100% because it feels like they could be explained a little bit better for the reader to grasp as we're going through the plot. So because of that criticism I've got about it, I guess, that it could be clearer, I'm feeling it's only a 3.5 stars, but I'm still really enjoying it. I'm loving the characters as well, and I am enjoying how everything is unfolding. There has been a conflict. There is still a little bit of time left, so I'm interested to see where that conflict outcome leads and then what happens next. And I hope it's not all bad. We'll see what happens. I just want these two characters to be together, and it's a romance, so of course they will be, but I need to know how. And then that leads me into Part of Your World, which was supposed to be another audiobook that I picked up this week. And I didn't do that because I picked that in my February to be read video as my random number generator pick. So in my mind, I was like, those random number generator picks in my to be read videos are going to be books that I vlog about during the month. However, because I've been sick, I haven't been able to talk, and even today is stretching it a little bit doing this video update. So I'm thinking that my videos are going to be delayed because I don't know how I'm going to go filming this coming few days for content next week. So we'll see what happens. This might be the last thing you hear from me for like a week or so. I hope that's not the case, but we'll see. But that means that I'm putting off my vlog for Part of Your World and whatever else I read around it. And instead in this video, I'm going to choose a physical book, like I said earlier, because I'll finish this very shortly. And then also an audiobook to read as well, so that I can then like buffer out Part of Your World and read it later. I don't know, it's made up rules in my head, but to me it makes perfect sense. So what I've decided to do, I've got my physical TBR, which is 6 books on my shelf behind me. So I'm going to do the number generator from 1 until 6 and get it to generate one of those numbers, and that will be my physical book. And then after that, I'll do my audios separately, just so they're not mixed. I don't want to accidentally get 2 audiobooks because I'm gonna need a physical book to read. I hope that worked. 3, okay. Hope this is good. That is the Urban Fantasy of Dark Academia, and it is an academy for liars. And this one says, Lennon Carter's life is falling apart until she gets a mysterious phone call inviting her to sit the entrance exam for somewhere very few have ever heard of, Drayton College, a school of magic hidden in a secret pocket of Savannah. I'm looking forward to seeing what this has in store for me, and I got this for Christmas, so I'm very happy to read it at the beginning of 2025 because that's not a huge wait for it being on my TBR pile. So pretty happy with this one. I'd be happy with most of them, honestly. I was really worried about getting a thicker book, so I'm glad that it skipped the first binding for now because that is really intimidating to me. But now for the audiobook, and I've got them written out on my trusty little duck post-it note. So with that, I'm going to say out of 4, we're going to generate a number. Oh, it's hard to see. Trying again. I can't see on the viewfinder. I think it did 3 again, unless I can't read. Anyway, I hope that works. Editing me will see if I'm an idiot or not, but I'm just going to go for book 3 on my audios list. And that is The Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. And this is an older school fantasy that has those classic tropes of, I think, a farm boy who has a call to adventure, and he might be the chosen one, but he goes on a quest. There might be a magical item as well that's either revered or needs to be found. Either way, I'm looking forward to reading more fantasy because I have been craving more fantasy lately, and I think that's part of the reason I'm more than willing to put off part of your world, because I don't feel like a romance right now. Which seems silly because it's February and today is Valentine's Day, so you'd think I'd be into reading a romance. But I guess Sword Crossed has scratched that romance itch, and I'm just keen to get into more fantasy, especially after rereading and loving Robin Hobb all over again. I'm in the mood for fantasy. But that is my update. Let me know what you're reading down below, whether it's romance or fantasy or something else. I would be more than interested. But please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.